What is going on, guys? John here with the PBFit, and I'm back. I know it's been a while. I was in Alaska for a month, and before that I was playing a ton of events. Didn't have time to film, didn't have time to, make videos or anything like that, but now that I'm back home after that long vacation, I'm going to start up all over again. Quick channel update. I'm going to start filming my videos a little bit differently than, you've seen before. Basically what I'm going to start doing is, I'm going to start, just changing up a little bit, making it more like a vlog, making it more interesting to see while incorporating, my maintenance videos, my real talks and everything like that. That way it's more of an experience rather than just going there just to, see, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? I mean, that's what you guys are here for, but at least it'll be enjoyable to watch. So basically, it's early in the day. I'm gonna go downstairs. Oh yeah, I'm selling a bunch of stuff. Go downstairs, get some coffee. I'm watching my boys right now, so let's make some fun. One thing I can't forget is Better Body Foods. Months ago, and I hate that it took me so long to get to this video or to mentioning them, but months ago they sent me a awesome care package. I'll put the picture of when I received it in this video. But basically they sent me like a bunch of cool stuff. Like this organic coconut palm sugar. I mean, how awesome is that? Chia seeds, coconut flour, two different types of coconut oil, and coconut oil is great for you, especially for my wife. Her family has a family history of Alzheimer's, and coconut oil is supposed to help with that, so they sent us two, and she's been using it like crazy, and it's been awesome. But what I'm going to do a review on is what a lot of people make fun of me about, and I think it's funny that they actually contacted me, and that is PBFit. They contacted me and asked me if I wanted to try their PBFit, and I was like, sure. I take PB2, or I did take PB2, but honestly, this stuff is awesome. But I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I will be doing a video on PBFit, both their chocolate and their original, and letting you guys know what I really think about it. If you haven't checked out Better Body Foods yet, you should, because they have great products that are really actually priced really well. So go ahead and check them out, but like I said, video coming soon. Another bummer is that I cannot play paintball for at least 2 weeks. I jacked up my left eye, so I'm not going to be able to do some paintball for 2 weeks, but then as soon as I can, I'll be back and I'll be doing some more videos as far as gameplay goes. But today, I will be doing a Bob Long Vcom review. It's long overdue. Jake gave me this gun a long time ago, and I got to get it back to him, so I'm going to be doing a nice comprehensive review of overall what I think about the marker, and of course the maintenance, so you guys know what to do if you guys get your hands on a Bob Long Vcom. Alright guys, so here's a Bob Long Vcom. This is, like I said, this is Jake's from Team Insanity. He let me borrow it for a long time. Got a lot of uses out of this gun, and honestly, it's a really fun gun to use, especially since you can change it over. And that's exactly what Vcom stands for. It's a victory changeover motor. So you can go from poppet to spool valve, depending on how you want to play. If you want to shoot a lot of pain, if you want a softer shot, etc., you can go ahead and do that with just swapping out the bolt. It is easy, but you do have to change the back cap, which I'll show you. It's a beautiful marker. The thing about Bob Long is the milling is top notch. Like a lot of companies nowadays, they just go and they'll, change the anodizing on the gun, call it private label. It's just amazing the amount of work that Bob Long puts into his markers to really make them different from the competition. So here's the marker itself. Jake does have, I believe, 3 backs for this gun, as well as the the barrel tip. He also has this Exalt pressure tester. Now, why does he have a pressure tester? Well, pressure testers are extremely important when using Bob Long guns. You're going to want a pressure tester. This is how you're going to get the most out of your Bob Long gun. Now, Bob Long markers are difficult to deal with. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you want them to shoot perfectly and actually make it worth buying a Bob Long gun, you're going to want to buy a pressure tester. And for, I want to say all of his guns, they have pressure testers available. With the pressure tester, I will go over exactly how it works so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so I actually had to step away for a second because the spool valve that was in there would not come out. I literally had to take apart the gun, disconnect the electronics, then I had to unscrew this metal part right here so I can get this bolt out. Bolt was still stuck, had to get a squeegee, shove it through the back, and finally it popped out and I sliced my finger. That was ridiculous. I don't know what's up with this gun. It was clean marker. I stored it clean, and I don't know why. It shouldn't have got stuck like that. I've never experienced a marker that has been stuck like that. Maybe it's because there is a magnet right here that's on the back cap, and no other marker, I don't think, has a magnet. There's no need for this magnet to like hold it down. You know, other ones just slide down, snaps back in place, but Bob Long felt like a need for a magnet. I couldn't even lift up the back cap at all. It made it a huge pain in the ass. And just putting the thing back together is a pain in the ass because of the way the screws are. Because they're like recessed screws, but you got to put them in a certain way. And I don't know. I hated it. So I never want to have to go through that ever again. Getting back to the pressure tester. So the pressure tester, you just take out the bolt. All right. Take out the bolt like this. And you just slide it in the back like that. Fits nice and snug. You have to buy it specifically. I believe this might be a Victory pressure tester. So as long as it's like a Victory pressure tester, it should fit back in there. Like I said, this one just happens to be Exalt. And then what you do is you screw in the tank, air it up. All right, so pressure tester in. It's telling me that right now it's operating at about 100. It's reading about 140 and 0. The reason why I think the back is running at 0 is because there's no air actually in the chamber, is because the LPR, I believe, is screwed all the way in. I'm not going to mess with it, but that's basically how you can adjust it. There are certain places online where you can find settings and stuff like that and go ahead and adjust it to your liking. But that's about it, and this is how you really sweet spot Bob Long, and this is why you should buy a Bob Long gun, is because you could really make it shoot like, I mean, one of the best markers out there. And kind of adjust it to your liking. All right, now Bob Long guns they're really nice. They have really nice ergonomics. The marker's stretched out. It has a nice clamping feed neck, eye covers. This one has 2 CIs. You could upgrade to 4 CIs. It's supposed to make it better, but honestly, if it detects a ball, it detects a ball, in my opinion. Really cool cutouts here. I am actually not a fan of huge windows because paint gets in there, paint gets in your gun. I think it looks really cool, but I think it could do without windows, which is why I think recently it started to go with like really clean guns. I don't know, but it looks cool though, don't get me wrong. And allows you to see like the can and everything like that, which is neat. Bob Long has the best triggers in my opinion on the market, right ahead of Empire. So I think that the Bob Long trigger is on point. The regulators are really good, easy to maintain, which I'm going to go over. The on-off ASA here is really, really well designed, really easy to turn off and on, purges air. The grip feels really good. It's not too soft, not too hard. It doesn't wear down very easily. The board is really nice. It is an OLED board. When you turn it on, works really well, easy to see it's really bright no matter how dark or how bright it is outside. I have never had an issue with it. Easy to turn off. I have had an issue with the feed neck falling off though, because there's a tiny little baby screw right here on the bottom and it gets loose all the time, and then my feed neck just falls off of my hopper. It's happened a couple times, and you got to constantly tighten it. I don't know why they just didn't go with 2 big screws there instead of one little one, because the little one's is the little one that causes the issue, but maybe it's to be a little bit more low profile or something. But it is a very good feed neck, very nice latch here on the end. It allows you to tighten it up. I would like a wheel because you have to tighten it right here with an Allen key, but maybe he has something like that set for in the future. Anyway, let's go ahead, bring down the camera, and take a look at these 2 engines and do some maintenance on the regulator and, of course, these engines. All right, guys, so we're going to start with the regulator. So all you have to do to maintain the regulator is just unscrew it and then take out this piston. It'll slowly start to come out. And then boom. So this is your piston, and then this is your stack here. Now, you don't need to take this apart. It's a lot like the custom products regulators. So this is lube. This looks good to go. I'm just going to put this back in here. That goes straight down in there. Now with this, as you can tell, this thing is actually pretty dirty. There's a lot of black grime on it. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off. Get all that old lube and grime off. Make sure that it's not crimped here at all, because that's where you're gonna have issues. So I don't recommend using it like pliers to take it out. That's why I use my hand. And then all you gotta do is put a little bit of lube on the O-ring. And wipe it around like that. And boom. Good to go. So the flat side goes back down, pointy side up. All right. And then this part that's sticking out right here, you go ahead and just stick through the hole, inside the hole of the piston, screw it in, and boom, you just basically maintained your regulator. All right, so now we're gonna take care of these bolts here. So basically you wanna take the tips off and then you take everything else apart. Now that you have the bolts apart, you're just going to want to wipe down all of the old lube from the O-rings, and you're going to want to put new lube on. Cool thing about these bolts is that they are rubber tipped and they are flat, so it really prevents rollback, unlike a lot of markers that have like a Venturi face that does have rollback. So there's like little to no rollback with these bolt tips. Now, as you can tell, there is a ton of O-rings on these. But the only thing you're going to want to use on these markers is Dow 33. You're not going to want to use anything else. So I just put a little dab of Dow 33 on each O-ring. All right, guys, so now that we got the bolts together, basically you just want to make sure that they travel nice and smooth. All right, everything looks good. What I like to do also is I like to run a microfiber all the way through the marker, as well as wipe down the outside of the marker to make sure it is nice and clean. And I like to look through it against, like, up in some light to make sure that it's nice and smooth. So once I've done that, I'll go ahead and put the bolt back in. Look at that. I'm having a hard time getting a freshly lubed bolt out after I just put it in. You gotta kind of finagle it. It's these O-rings. That's why I lube these O-rings ever so slightly, because they catch. These O-rings, they are used to seal, but man, it makes it a pain in the butt to get out. So, I mean, if you don't, gosh, it just makes it so incredibly difficult to get in and out of the marker. When you're removing this back cap, you need to not only remove this part, because that way you get to the screws easier right here, you need to remove these two screws, and then you can attach it to the other engine so you can use it within the marker. Now, honestly, I think Bob Long's great. I think he has a great trigger. I think he has great eye system. Nice V-neck, except for this little screw that allows it to get loose all the time. Awesome regulator, a lot like the custom products regulators. Nice on-off ASA, really easy to use even if your hands are all grimy and everything. I don't like the windows because, I mean, while it looks cool, it makes it a pain in the butt to clean. I'd rather a smooth out body. That way you can clean it a lot easier, and you can still look cool even without the windows, which is why a lot of guns are going away from windows. But I really just don't like the way that it's set up. It's overcomplicated. When you start doing all this, it gets overcomplicated. Like I said, I had the hardest time getting the bolt out. I'm having the hardest time getting the bolt in. It is put together 100% right, but I don't know why, but I cannot get the bolt to go in. This should not be something that's difficult. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I've done everything correctly. I just don't know why it's getting stuck. I mean, even if you watch Jake from Team Insanity's video, his stuff gets stuck, and he has a hard time getting it out. It shouldn't be that way. It should be easy. And that's where Bob Long goes wrong, is because his stuff is quite oftentimes overcomplicated and difficult to use, and that's exactly what's wrong with this marker right here. The spool valve shoots great. I use the Pop It. But honestly, I don't think there's a point in the Pop It because the spool shoots really well unless you want to shoot like a million paintballs, because the shot quality is just not as good. It just isn't. So if you're going to buy this, most people just stick with the spool. I use the Pop It for one point, and then I quit using the Pop It. And then I put the spool back in because the spool's just better. So, but on that, not a bad gun. Would I buy it? No, I just wouldn't. It's just too much for me. So, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully I don't get any haters off of this. I think Bob Long's a great company. I think he's really innovative. I think it's awesome that he designs his markers custom all the time. He's one of the few that are still doing that. So, keep doing that, Bob Long. It's something that you are awesome at, very well known for, especially with splash colors and different anodizing. But I just want to say thanks for watching, guys, and more reviews and more videos soon. Take it easy.